Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. In today's fundamental analysis tutorial video, we'll be looking at Walmart Stores Incorporated as our example, the cash flow statement, the annual data here, and then scrolling on down, we'll see that we've already gone through the videos on the operating activity section. Now we're working on the investment activity section. And the last item on this category here, you'll notice, will be other. And this we've talked about before. You'll find it in every financial statement, from the balance sheet, the income statement, as well as the cash flow statement, and you'll find it typically several different places, so it's important that you understand this. And we've already covered this, so if you've already watched these other videos, then you probably already know this, but just in case, the other category is simply where things fall that don't typically fall in capital expenditures. They don't fit there. If they don't fit in the investments category, and then they'll find them here in the other section under the investing activities portion of the cash flow statement. The main thing here is not typically going to be a substantial amount of money, and so it's not usually anybody who pays much mind to it. But I'll show you how to find that information if you want to know what exactly other is. And again, it's important to point out that whenever you're talking about other, there's nothing I could tell you about, well, it's always going to be this, because it's going to depend on the company. If you have in this particular case, looking at Walmart Stores Incorporated, if you look at some other company, you could find it'd be something else that's making up these numbers here and here. Today we're going to be looking at this number here, 449. I'll show you how we've pulled that, and as I've shown you guys before, anytime you want clarification on any of these line items, you can go and look at the consolidated statements, the cash flow statement, or the balance sheet and the income statement, in the company's actual reports that they provide to the SEC and to investors, and we can oftentimes find this information on the annual report for whatever particular year or time period you're looking at. So you can always go and look at the notes regarding each one of these items to see exactly what's going in there. So if, for example, if I were to look at this statement for some company and we would see a substantial number here or a really substantial number here, I'd be wondering, okay, what caused that? And especially if that was the only thing that was making it a positive number, if everything else was contingent on that, or there was a great deal of cash flow produced from that, I'd obviously want to know what did they do, how did they produce that cash flow there. So today we'll be looking at the other cash flows from investing activities, and we're going to be looking at the January 30, 2012, because that's the particular annual report that I pulled up. And again, on many of the cases now, whenever you're looking at your publicly traded companies, oftentimes you can go to the company's website, go to the investor relations section, and you will be able to find the reports that you're looking for provided for you online and for several years back. So you don't always have to have them send you one. You can just simply go and look it up for yourself. Okay, so we're going to be going now to the Walmart's consolidated cash flow statements. Okay, here's the URL. You can see Walmart Stores Incorporated, or WalmartStores.com. You can see that we're looking at the annual report for 2012. We're simply going to go over here, and we've already gone on page 37, and you'll find that you have the consolidated statement of cash flows, and we scroll on down looking for what we're actually interested in here. You can see that the operating activities, you can list it down here below, and we move on down a little bit further. Okay, and we have cash flow from investing activities section here, and below that's broken into certain categories. And again, you'll notice that you have more categories here, more line items here than you do on the Yahoo Finance page there. The Yahoo Finance page is just a middleman. It's just providing this information to the best of their ability without overworking themselves. And so every single company is going to be laid out a little bit different. So if you really want the serious financial analysis done, you're going to have to go do that yourself. That means you actually go and you look at the companies itself, and you can see that what Yahoo Finance has done is they've simply taken the other investment activities, which you have to go read the footnotes to see exactly what other is. In this case, it's only 131 cash flow out. In this up here, you can see they have proceeds from deposits of property and equipment. The majority of what Yahoo Finance is referring to as other on cash flow, you can see that the majority of that is going to be proceeds from deposits of disposals of property and equipment. That's 580. So when we take the 580, we subtract the 131 cash outflow, and you get the 4 that you're looking at over here. You go there, get this lined up right. You can see that's the 449. That's what they've done. They've simply taken those two numbers, added them together, and they come up with a 449. So the bulk of that number there is from the sale of or disposal of things that no longer find value to the company that they're selling and getting rid of. And you can probably find that the same things happened here, and the same thing happened further back. So that's something to look at. Whenever you're looking at the other section, you always need to go look at the individual annual report or the 10K, 10Q, and figure out what it was for this particular company that was causing that number. Most people are just going to bypass it. They're not going to pay a lot of mind to it because in the overall scheme of things, the $603 million is not a great amount compared to the numbers that you see above it. Okay. The main takeaway you should be getting from this is that other cash flows are going to be different for every single company, and the only time it'd be a major concern for me, and I have seen it in the past, is when an other category is where all the cash flow or all the income for a particular time period or all the assets on the balance sheet would be making the thing look good based on only other activity. If your total balance sheet would be lopsided if it weren't for other assets, then you've probably got something you should look at. If you also the same thing with the cash flow statement. If we're seeing cash out here, cash out here, cash out, constantly seeing cash flowing out, we weren't getting the positive number here except for activity in the other category, then again I'd look into it, and I'd be suspecting that this is a red flag, and in fact the company is trying to make its books look better than it really is. Okay. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.